guys, this is Christy Falk from Create with Christy. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the US. Well, I've got another Christmas card for you. I'm liking doing these Christmas cards in July. It's a lot of fun. And these feature some more new products that are going to be in the August to December mini catalog from Stampin' Up! That starts August 4th. Now, I do want to make sure you remember about the bonus day coupons. If you place at least a $50 order before shipping and tax, you will earn one $5 bonus coupon, and your order has to be placed by August 3rd, by the end of the day, August 3rd. It'll be 11:50 p.m. Mountain Time. Then you'll be able to redeem any coupons you get, because you get one $5 coupon for every $50 you place on an order. So if you do a $100 order, you'll get two $5 off coupons. Then you'll be able to use those in August, between August 4th and August 31st, and that's when the new catalog is started, so you'll be able to use your coupons on some new stuff. So it's a pretty good deal, so make sure you get those coupons. And if you want to place an order, you can just click on the online store link below. Now, if you're wanting to stamp along with me and you're watching this before August 3rd, you can still watch the video. That way you know how to make it, and then if you want to make it with me when you get your products, you can come back in August. The way to make sure you don't lose the video, you can either add it to one of your playlists, or you can like it, and it'll automatically get put in your liked videos list on YouTube. So that's an easy way to find everything. Okay, you ready to start making this card? I know I am. So if you have any questions about the card while watching me make it, please comment below and I'll answer your questions as soon as I can. Okay, let's get started. Okay, the first thing I want to do is show you the new products that I'm going to use from the new mini catalog. This is the Peace and Joy bundle. I love these dies. Now, if you purchase, you can purchase them separately, but if you purchase them as a bundle, you'll save 10%. And they do die cut these middle ones here, die cut the bright Peace and Joy. Then these will die cut the same words, but this is more like a written word. So if you don't want to stamp, you can use these. And then the larger ones make a perfect mat around them. So you'll see that here in a minute. I decided not to use this Joy, but I'm going to use the two bigger ones because I'm going to stamp my Joy. So I'll put those over here. And the only other new thing, oh, actually I'm using a couple new things. This is the Mossy Meadow Diagonal Stripe Ribbon. Really like this one a lot. And I like the way you can use this side that shows more of the Mossy Meadow, or you can use this side and it shows more of the white. So pretty neat. You get two different looks with that. And I'm also using some Heartwarming Hugs Designer Series paper, which has got some pretty, lot more designs than this, but this is the piece I'm using. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to grab a piece of Mossy Meadow. This is an 8.5 by 5.5 for my card. Go ahead and fold this in half. Grab my bone folder. And the card base is ready to go. Now I'm going to grab my Stampin' Pierce mat and some grid paper. Get my Stampin' Up! Emblems looking right. I'm going to grab a piece of Whisper White. This is a 3 by 4 1/4 inch piece of Whisper White. And I'm going to grab the Holly Leaf stamp and the Berry stamp. These are all the stamps I'm using are from that Peace and Joy stamps that I showed here at the beginning of the video. I'm going to take the Mossy Meadow ink pad. And I don't really need to stamp too far down because I'm going to be putting some Designer Series paper here. But I'll probably go a little lower than I need to just to make sure I don't have any white space. I'm going to go ahead and stamp this. I'm going to leave a little space. Actually, let's go ahead and open up the real red. Sometimes I like going ahead and adding the berries. It makes it so I can see a little better what I'm doing. So here's my red. I love that these are photopolymer because I can line them up really easy. That looks good. Let's do another green. Let's see right there. So having those berries there, then I know where to put my next green. Now, if you're good at eyeballing, you don't need to do that. But I think it's just a little bit easier. And then, oops, that's red. We don't want that. Let's get that taken care of. Make sure you put it in the right ink pad. Glad I had this close by. That's funny. Okay, now we'll do the green. Stamp that there. I'm going to put a little berry. Yeah, we'll put those there. Do a few more. Let's do this here. Now this, there's no berries, so I'm not going to worry about that. And I think I almost did it again. I think I'm going to put some berries right there in that little corner. Let's do some here, and I think I left enough room for those berries there. Have them going every which way. Oh, that looks good. And I think I'm going to put one right here for good measure. I think I might put a little something right here. Let's see. Let's go ahead and just do some leaves, oh, I did it again. Let's just do some berries since I messed that up again. We'll do it like this so they're upside down. That should be good. So always make sure you do the right ink pad. Okay, so we've got that all stamped. Now I'm going to take the Designer Series paper. This is a 3 by 1.5 inch piece. I can't remember if I gave you the size of this. This is 3 by 4.25. Use my wonderful seal. And you can use, of course, whichever side you want. If you get the paper, you just use whatever paper design you want, but this is the one I picked out. I thought this one would look good with what I was making. Got that going across. So see that? Now it's okay if there's a little bit of white space here, so I'm going to put that ribbon across here. So we'll grab the ribbon. I'm going to grab my silicone mat quick because I don't want to get any of the seal on here. Now I wanted to have the side that showed most of the more mossy meadow than white. So I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to put some of the seal on each ribbon end. And if you have trouble getting, if you'd like it better not putting it exactly on the ribbon, you can put it here on the back of the cardstock too, where it needs to go. So I'm going to have it overlap the paper just a little bit. Make sure I've got that nice and straight. Sometimes it's easier to see that it's straight if I hold it this way. There we go. So that's ready to go. And we can go ahead and put this on the Mossy Meadow mat I made for it. This is a 3 1/8 inch by 4 3/8 inch. So we'll just attach this. And then we're going to attach it to the center of a piece of Real Red. These are definitely traditional colors. Now the green's a little, it's not a, this is more a neutral green, but I think it looks pretty with the red. I'm using the colors that are in the paper, as you can see. So we've got that on there. Let me grab a piece. This is a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of Real Red. Go ahead and get that attached. Getting close to the end of this one. There we go. I'm going to just put that right there in the center. And then we can put this on the card base. I didn't get much on the corner there. You always want to make sure you get some in the corners. And stick that right in the center. And then we can put this over to the side till ready for it. And now we'll go ahead and do some, let's do some embossing quick. I'm going to grab a piece of Whisper White. You can get a scrap and make sure it's about 2 3/4 by 2 is what this piece is. That way you know you've got plenty of room for your word. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my paper again. And I'm going to take the Joy stamp, and I decided I wanted to emboss this with gold. So I need the Versamark pad. Get that inked up real well. I'm going to stamp that here. It doesn't have to be right in the center, just close, because you're going to be die cutting this. Okay, now you can't tell probably in the video, but there's a nice watermark that says Joy on there. Bring in my gold emboss powder. And we'll just put it all over that Joy, and you're going to see it with no problem now. Add a little bit more here. Here we go. Kind of flick it off a little bit. It's okay if you get some white along the outside because you're going to be die cutting this. So we've got that Joy ready to go. And now we want to heat emboss this with the heat tool. I'll take my take your pick tool to hold that down. And you're going to want to let this heat up for a little bit. I think it works. You can start when it's cooled off, but I think it goes a lot quicker if you do it this way. Then you just hold it in the spot, in one spot, until it starts to melt. Okay, now it's starting to melt, so I'm going to start moving it. And I'll just keep doing this until the whole thing is melted. You don't want to go back and forth like this, because it's going to take forever for that to get hot enough to melt. There we go. Now that it's all shiny, it's all done. Now we're going to do some die cutting. So let me grab my die cutting machine. Put this down, and I'm going to grab, like I said, there are two Joys here. Actually, we can do both of these at the same time. So here's the word Joy. I love how the opening just goes right around that perfectly. You don't have to worry about seeing any white around the edges. You actually don't want to see any white around the edges. Then grab another scrap of Real Red, at least a 3 by 2 piece. And you can put this big outer one there. We've got plenty of room to do both at the same time, so we're only going to have to do this die cutting thing once. Take these out. Oops. There's our joy. Isn't that pretty? I like it embossed. And then our little mat. So I'm going to have so much fun doing different things with these dies. Okay, so we've got those ready to go. And now since I made that perfect, let me grab my silicone mat again and get this out of the way. I'm going to put, you could actually use glue dots too if you wanted to, but since I've got this, I'm going to go ahead and just put it in different spots here. Okay. If you see any glue, you can kind of, adhesive, you can kind of move it down with your fingernail, but that looks good. Now, this is going to go right in the center. Isn't that cool? I love having a mat for my words. So neat. So there we go. We've got our joy. So I didn't have to fussy cut to make a little mat. Isn't that neat? I like that a lot. Okay, we'll get that mat out of the way. Now we're going to go ahead and put this on with dimensionals, and I'm going to use black dimensionals since we're using darker cardstock. Let's put one here on this end, and then I think I'm going to put one up here just so it doesn't wobble. That should be pretty good. Get these off. Oops. Well, I can't seem to get hold of that one. There we go. Put my paper clean there. And this is just going to go right over the ribbon, centered. You can angle it if you want to, but I did it kind of straight. There we go. So that's ready to go. Okay, I'm going to take this scrap piece of Whisper White. And I think I've got room here. I'm going to stamp the Joy to the World. We've got Joy, so this one says to the world, and I'm going to do it with the Mossy Meadow. Now we don't have a die to die cut this, but that is okay because it is super easy to fussy cut. So I'm just going to grab my scissors. And I'm going to leave a little bit of a white border. If you don't want a white border, you can just go right up against the Mossy Meadow part. But this can be fussy cut it out so quick. And one more cut and it'll be ready. There we go. Use up all my scraps. Okay. Now this one I wanted to put on with dimensionals too. So this is a white piece. I'm going to go ahead and use, because I don't think I have my mini black ones out. You can definitely use the black, but you want to use the mini ones. Since these are the ones I have handy, I'm going to grab these. But the black would work just fine. Even though this is a white piece, I think the black ones work just fine with the white layers too, because it's still in the shadows, and I think it hides really well. And I'm going to put the Joy to the World right here. Leave that a little bit. There we go. Isn't that neat? I love that we've got these little stamps with this set too to go with the big words. Okay, now the inside needs something. So let's grab a piece of Whisper White. This is 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to stamp piece right here in red. I'm going to put it here, the top right here. Piece. And then I'm going to use my Mossy Meadow again on some other little words. So I'm going to use Sending. I'm going to put it about right here. Okay, Sending piece. And I'm going to do Joy in red. Right here. And then I've got a little word and. I'm going to put it about right here. So Sending Peace and Joy. And this one says to you and yours. And I'm going to put it right under the Joy. There we go. Isn't that cool? And you can stop there if you want to, but I decided that I wanted to have some holly on here. So I'm going to put this one on like so, right there. And then I'm going to grab, oop, I had a red on my finger. That's okay, I can take care of that later. And then put the berries there. And the inside is all done. Isn't that neat? And you can put your name down here when you give it to somebody for Christmas. And we'll Get some seal on this. I'm going to grab my card base and put it on the inside. There we go. Isn't that neat? Boy, I've got a lot of red on my fingers. Oh well, that's okay. Well, that's the end of my first Peace and Joy bundle card. I'm sure I'll be making more with this set. I hope you enjoyed the card as much as I did. And if you want to stamp with me again, please subscribe to my channel below. You can click that little subscribe square that you see in the bottom right corner of the video. And when you do so, you'll see a little bell. Make sure you click on that bell and select all. That way, YouTube will notify you every time I upload a video. If you want to see more of my creations, you'll want to follow me on my blog, Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram, and I've got links to all those below in the video description. Now, if you live in the United States and do not have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator of your own, I'd love to be yours. If you would like me to mail a new catalog out to you, actually there are two now. We've got the annual catalog and the new mini catalog. I'd be happy to mail them out to you. Just click on that contact me link below in the video description. Send me your address and I'll get them mailed out to you. And don't miss out on earning a $50 shopping spree on me too. You'll find out more about that by clicking the Doily Rewards link below. Well, it's time to go. Please help support my channel by giving me a thumbs up and commenting below. I really appreciate it. See you in the next video.